Hello everyone and welcome to this Fairies Oracle and Witches Tarot reading. And as always, I do these readings on full moons because I feel that that's where we have the best access to the worlds of the fairies and witches. And also I feel that the fairies and witches are using the moon as a communication tool to communicate the messages from their realms to our realm. So we are now closing up on the full moon in Gemini here on December 18th and 19th. I am in Denmark, so it will hit here early in the morning on the 19th of December. So let's dive directly into the cards and see what the fairies and the witches have for us. And we'll just shuffle the cards. And the fairies always want to bring us together, to live in harmony with both ourselves and each other and the fairies. They always come forth because they want to put a smile on our faces, even when we are going through maybe the roughest times of our lives. They just always want to remind us that life is supposed to be funny and joyful and joyous, and that it is meant for us to live in harmony. Okay, so let's see what the fairies have for us. So let's pull 3 cards. The first card that is coming out is this card, the Soul Shrinker. Card number 55. The next card out is card number 56, Luminous Doom, but in reverse. Okay. And the last card to come out is also in reverse, card number 8, the Singer of Courage. So, the Soul Shrinker is about that we shouldn't really pay attention to any kind of gossiping going on around us. We should really just focus on focus on ourselves, okay? We should really, even though there might always be cruelty and gossiping going around, and that is always part of our lives, you know, I think that we can all agree to that we have all met that kind of behavior. Maybe we haven't even had that kind of behavior. But here it is really about being constructive, you know. If you give out criticism, then do it, with compassion, and just be real about it, instead of just going behind people's backs and talk a lot like yibbity yabbity yibbity yabbity. That's kind of the energy that I get from this card. So it is really about taking responsibility for ourselves here, and also take responsibility for our own feelings instead of blaming everyone else, okay? So everything that is shrinking our soul, as this card is saying, that is really what we should pay attention to right now. That some kind of stressful situation is going on where there could be a lot of gossiping or malice going on behind our backs or maybe to our faces. But that's kind of the energy that is coming out here. And with card number 56, Luminous Doom, is in its upright position, normally talking about self-defeat and self-pity, self-destruction. But coming out in reverse, it is as if someone here is in the self-pitying, is that someone cannot get out of the self-pitying here, okay? That if someone is holding us back, or maybe we are holding ourselves back, okay? So this card is really saying that if you feel that there's a lot of gossiping going on, or maybe to your face or behind your back, stick to your own course, stick to your own plans, instead of worrying about everyone else, okay? And definitely also not to stay in self-pitying. I mean, it's okay to have a bad day once in a while, right? But always remember that tomorrow the sun will be up again, and that we need to carry on. There are always lessons to be learned, and let other people live their lives as you are living your life. That you are focusing on your life, and that you are not supposed to take on anyone else's worrying of their lives and what they're doing with that. That's up to them, okay? So you just do the best you can with your life. And it's also, I feel that this, since we have card number 55 and 56, that this is the continuation on how to deal with this. This is kind of the answer on how to deal with this. This is a following up on this card. So whatever the malice or cruelty may be, stick to your own plan, stick to your own life, and let others be where they are at in their life. So I feel that this could very much be you here in the center of the reading. Closing the door, since this card is also in reverse, close off the door to this malice, whatever it is that's going on. And since I'm reading for the collective here, definitely on a world scale right now, we see a lot of talking going on, right? And a lot of cruelty also is playing out right now. A lot of conflict and crisis. And so now it is time for us not to sink down in destruction, but remember to rise above that, to sort of keep to our own plans, keep to how we can make it as individuals, how we can make it better for the collective, okay? So on a personal level, we definitely have to close the door, because that's also how we are helping the collective in closing doors to what is not healthy for us as a collective. And let's have a look at the last card that is coming out, card number 8, the Singer of Courage in reverse. Now this is normally talking about bravery and, you know, overcoming fear and really building up a lot of strength. But when it comes out in reverse, it's really asking us to ask ourselves a question, you know, what can we do now to open up to courage? Because it's like, again, it's coming out in reverse, and we're like closed off. It's like we don't have the courage maybe to do this, to really focus on what is constructive. Instead, we may be worrying on anyone else's, you know, what are they thinking? We will never succeed in doing this or doing that. No, we'll never get there. It's like this destructive way of thinking, or perhaps in physical action. There is something here that is very destructive, and that we have to remind ourselves to do the absolute best that we can. But it's like right now, we don't have the courage to do this. It's like we have to ask ourselves, well, why do we not have the courage right now? What are we really afraid of? Because at this point, I think it's clear for everyone that change needs to happen on a very profound level if we are to make this a better world. And already a lot of good stuff is happening in the world, but the news are not focusing on that. So the fairies are really asking us, you know, what kind of fear is it that's in our heart? What are we really afraid of, you know? And what can we do really to open our hearts to courage, so that we can recognize fear when we see it, but then we also know what what we need to do so that we can follow through on what we want. Okay, so this is about doing the best that we can and stick to it. Really, I feel also that the courage over here, the singer here of courage, the singers of this deck is always they are always the closest to God. We also call them the ministering angels because they are the closest to God. So this is a very pure energy. This is like the angels talking to us, the higher realms really talking to us, saying, we are behind you. But this is also where we hit the core in ourselves, of our inner being. You know, really asking ourselves, how can we follow through on what we want and what we need to do, even though we are faced with fear? What can we do to overcome that? How can we move into this state of courage? Because it seems right now that we don't know how to enter that. We don't know. We don't know what the real fear is about here. So there is just a lot of gossip and cruelty moving around over here, and I feel that right now we really need to do our best to close the door to that, like mentioned before in reverse. Close off to that and really figure out over here what is the real fear. Because over here, this cruelty, malice going on over here is more of a gossiping character. That's what I'm picking up on. A lot of stuff is being said, a lot of information is out there, the fairies are saying here, but be careful about what you believe. So over here we need to ask ourselves, what is the real fear? Because this is just gossiping. This is just what's showing up. But what is the real fear in it? What is behind this? Okay, so let's pull some cards from the Witch's Tarot to see what the fairies have for us. Okay. And let's begin with the card at the bottom of the deck to see what this is overall about. Since we have the full moon here, perfect. A perfect reference here. We have 6 of Swords coming out. So the Swords is a reference to all the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and we have the full moon right now in Gemini. So what a perfect reference that is. So the Gemini energy is about communication, but also the low vibration of Gemini could actually be gossiping, okay? Information being out there just for the sake of the information, okay? So Gemini is about being extremely talkative. They really like information. They also like to travel, but this is about our close surroundings, okay? So maybe we want to check out our personal lives and see what's going on, either into our face or behind our backs, okay? But 6 of Swords is in particular talking about our misunderstandings or delays when it comes to our visions, ideas, understanding of things, our communication in writing or speaking. It's like something has been underway, but it's been a delay. There's been suspension, there's been misunderstandings, and now we can see that with the wind here, things are changing with this full moon coming in Gemini. So again, a lot of information could come out here. The air element is the fastest element of the 4 elements. And also when we have a full moon, we are releasing stuff. So all the shadow sides are coming out right now. Okay, so we got to remember here that Gemini is also a very lively and joyous energy. It likes colors. It likes, it has appetite on life. It's adventurous. And it has this duality to it. So it's like there is this mediumship or open channel around this Gemini energy, okay? So something could come in quite swiftly, information like this card over here. Something could come in, but it's about misunderstandings. It's about delays, okay? Something has been in delay. There's been obstacles in understanding something. I feel definitely that with this full moon, we are coming into more understanding. We are moving away. It's like this wind is taking this fairy on a different course right now. And we can see that there are leaves here of autumn. So that also means release and harvest time, that there's finally something we come to know. Okay, or we come to understand something. We come to see something clearly now. And in the details, we have Seven of Pentacles coming out, which is talking about optimism and charity, doing our duty in life, something being handed to us, things are moving up, a very optimistic card. And here we are also at the earth signs of Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn energies. So something is building up in our work lives right now, in our financial lives, accommodation situation, in how we are building our practical, physical, materialistic structures around our lives, okay? Something is very positive here. And the two last cards that are coming out, they came out together, so let's have a look at them. First of all, we have Two of Wands coming out, and we have a Major Arcana card, and they are reference to the bigger energies in our lives. And here we have card number 14, Temperance. So Two of Wands, here we are in the fire element, a reference to the zodiac signs of Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. And Two of Wands is in particular talking about following through on our life path, that we're coming into alignment and cooperation with our life path, also with our inner light, our inner being, our original light from God. And I feel that overall here, some kind of information is coming in that has been in delay, something that we've been waiting for, maybe something that we've had in our vision, something that we've had as an idea, something that we've been working on mentally, whatever it may be on a personal level for you. But on a collective level, there are some information coming out now that we've been waiting for, okay? And that will take us in a totally different direction, okay? All the shadow sides are gone now. Everything is being lit up right now. And in the details, that will bring more optimism into our work lives, into our world economy, in how we are, also with the earth sign here, how we are, our look on sustainability, what we are putting in the ground, what we want to see grow, where we see our duty in life. So it's like we come in to have a completely different look on that aspect, you know, what is work, what is money really, and stuff like that. And Two of Wands, and that will lead us further down our life path, where we are more in alignment, more in cooperation with our inner being, our original spark from God, our inner light, everything that we are. So with the light we hold in us, it's like everything of who we are. Our soul awareness, our life force, willpower, and of course also our ego and our soul, and all our talents and skills. That's what's in our light. That's our inner being. And we're coming much more into alignment with that. It's like we're holding the world in our hands. So it's really crucial. It's really important what's happening right now, because also with the wands, it's a reference to the life force and how we move it around in our physical body, and how we are showing up in our relationships and through our creativity. So something is calling for us there in those life areas where we are coming much more into alignment. Really positive cards here. And also in connection to the Two of Wands, we have a Major Arcana coming in here. Temperance, the Temperance card is talking about balance, karma, healing, and also adaptability and to be agile. you know, how to move your way around. So there is something that is telling me that we are leveling up here our light, where we are coming much more into transformation with that, coming into new levels of energies, and coming into more physical energy, coming into more energy of how we're showing up in our relationships, which means in our communities, how are we showing up in our creative sides of life, how can we now start to do things differently. And also, since the overall energy here is about our mind and our ideas and visions and intentions and psychology and understanding things, something is telling me that that is what we're going to respond to in carrying that out through physical action. So this is very exciting. It's exciting times. So let's see if the fairies and the witches have some magical words for us that we can really work with through this time. Just see, there's one card coming out, and let's see if there are other cards coming out here. Okay, so the card that is coming out here is talking about beauty. And we can see how this woman is sitting in front of a mirror, observing herself. Okay, so we are really about to see some beauty coming into the world. Okay, no matter how tumultuous it can seem to be, no matter how much gossip there is going on, we are really in for doing the best we can now, tuning in to our to alignment with our inner being, our inner light, our original spark from God. Okay, where we are moving up, where we are leveling up, we are really asking ourselves, what can we do to move through these moments of fear and figure out what the real fear is, so that we can overcome it, and so that we can really reach our destination, that we can reach the goals, that we can reach the intentions that we have put in front of us, so that we can move on with the visions for a world that we really wish to see. Okay, so there is beauty on its way. We'll put it over here. There is definitely beauty on its way. And so let's see if there's something about the path that we are taking on right now. It's building up quite optimistically, but it's about doing our best, shutting the door to all this gossiping going on and saying, no thank you, no cruelty here. We want to build in fruition. We want to build up in optimism. Okay, so focusing on focusing on the best possible outcome of this tumultuous situation, and really work through these moments of fear, so that we can work through with what we really want. And that, of course, takes a lot of courage. It really does. Okay, so we have here 2 cards coming out of the deck. Let's have a look. Okay, we have 3 cards here, I can see. Okay, so the first one is coming out of its own on its own. So this is card number 24, and as always, go with the numbers on these cards and the colors on these cards wherever you feel that your intuition is leading you, because that's a special message just for you. Okay, but here it says like we're stuck in the mud. Okay, so we really need to ask ourselves right now, what can we do? And I'll put it over here alongside with the Singer of Courage. Because what can we do right now? What can we do right now to work out the courage, so that we can get out of this just walking around in circles, as we can see here with the elephant? And we have a lot of wisdom actually, but how can we make that? How can we take advantage of all that wisdom that we have? We have a lot of wisdom within our light, and we're coming much more into alignment with that. So now the question is, do we want to get out of the mud, or do we just want to continue walking in rings and take on a new life circle where we are going to get to move through, the exact same things that we're just about to leave right now? Do we want to believe in the beauty over here? Because if we do, we really need to have courage now to come out of the mud instead of just keep going in rings. So this is also telling me that we are in a paradigm shift right now. Okay, so the two next cards that are coming out, they're coming out together. We have first this card, card number 17. Yes, Ghostlands. This is about our past. Do we want to repeat? Do we want to repeat our, our past, or do we want to move on? And alongside with that card, we have this coming out, 46. Yes, coming apart. Let the past go. I feel these cards are saying, let the past go. Okay? We do not want to move back into this. We want to move forward. Now we have got to see the light that is coming in, like cracking. Oh, it's cracking. It's cracking open here. I feel that there's a light. I don't know how you say that in English, but it's like we are being cracked open here, okay, in our souls. I feel in the light. The light is coming in. Our original spark from God is coming right back in, okay? And so now is the perfect time to come out of these muddy times where we're just moving around in rings and, you know, what are we going to do? Do we have the courage? Maybe it's not the right time, but really we have got to stick with how are we going to get there, because we're building up now in optimism. And this is also talking about doing more charity for each other, helping each other out. Okay, so that's also telling me that that will be the way forward physically in our relationships and our creativity, that those areas, that's how we're going to show up there, and those areas are actually going to assist us in getting through these muddy times where there's new information coming in, bringing new light to things so that we know how to build forward, okay? And so that we can see clearly what is going on behind our backs, okay? Or maybe seeing the true nature of what is showing up just in front of us. So beautiful times, and it's now time for us to look ourselves in the mirror and say, who are we? And really to discover that we have beauty inside. We have a lot of wisdom. Okay, I feel these two cards are a perfect reference to each other, because we have all the beauty inside. We have all the wisdom that we could ever dream of. Okay, so the fairies just really, and the witches really just want us to use that to go within and to let go of the past. Now is the time. We need to break away, just like we can see in this card number 46 down here. Here, perfect reference with this card we had from the witches, right? That we are breaking away now. It's time really for new stuff to come in, new light to come in. And so let's have just the last advice to see. Okay, we have a couple of cards coming out. Let's have a look at them. And they were just jumping out of the deck. So let's see here. The first one, yes, perfect. Act. Upon waking, I am ready to act on my passions and dreams. And I'm using this deck because this is actually a reference to our dreams, both at nighttime, but also for our life in general. So when we are in our everyday life, you know, every day we get up and to work or we go to school, we are beginning now to feel that we are ready to act on our passions and our dreams. Okay, we really have got to ask ourselves, what are we dreaming about? What kind of life path do we want to move on now? The one we're coming into alignment with. What does our inner being, what does that really consist of? Okay, what are our dreams? What are we? It's like we're holding our entire earth life in our hands right now, saying, what is this? What are we really dreaming about? And the card coming out with this act, and a perfect reference also to the Wands cards, which is about physical action, okay? The card coming out with act is explore. I explore new horizons as I follow my passion. Now is the time to move forward. Exactly. A reference also to the elephant over here, stuck in the mud. Now we are ready to explore more. We are ready to let the past go. We are ready to let in the light and really to part ways with what has been, while we of course are being grateful, feeling gratitude for every life lesson that we've had. But now we also are open to that we have learned our lesson and that we are ready to move forward, okay? That we want to explore new horizons. Like the beautiful woman sitting over here, she is ready now to explore. Look how she's looking into this mirror. She's like, who am I? Okay, it's like she's looking very interested in her face. You know, what is that spark? What is that I have over there? What is the colors of my eyes? Where have I really changed? And it's like we are really changing here in the way that we are physically moving out into the world. So again, a reference back to the wands, physical action, and also to the pentacles cards, which is about also our earth life. So a lot of you know, really showing up there, being there, and moving forward because of the information that is now coming in, because we now know what all the gossiping and the malice and the cruelty is really about, and how to move away from that. Okay, so that was what I had for you in this Fairies Oracle and Witches Tarot reading. I hope you have been inspired to perhaps dive deeper into the cards, and I just really want to wish you all the best out there, and wishing you all a very happy, blessing and bright 2022. I will continue my fairies and witches readings in the new year, so I hope that you will be back here again on my channel. I hope to see you again in here. So take great care of yourselves out there. Happy New Year to all of you, and bye for now.